All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And it's a great pleasure having you join us today. Please, there's another issue I would like us to discuss, which is electronic transmission from HINEC. Much hope has been placed on this BVAS machine, and from my previous experience, I feel this electronic transmission is very, very feasible. In fact, let me say, at least from today, they should is easy to transmit this result. So I don't know the possibility that there might be a slight change to this, because what the encounter we have in the presidential election, I don't want to believe is going to happen again in this governorship election. So I don't know. Please, do you have any specific view in reference to this, or perhaps you think that HINEC, as promised, will make this electronic transmission feasible between today and tomorrow?
Okay, yeah, thanks for that. So I think there's been a lot of talk around the promise of BVAS and what we could hope to get from the electronic transmission. I think the key thing here is transparency. That's the key word here.
Yeah.
And the goal is we hope that we can have these results transferred from even the polling units to the INEC servers. And what BVAS, the promise of BVAS is that all of this will be done, and as soon as the results is announced in the polling units, INEC can collect all of these results and have them all together, right, in their situation room, and all of these can be provided to the public online. So this is the hope and the promise of BVAS. But I think I would like to look at it from a logistic and a technology standpoint. So what does INEC need to have in place before they can actually implement BVAS? I think we've all been talking about BVAS, making BVAS work. I for one, think that in Nigeria we don't have like good, connectivity in terms of internet, in all the nooks and crannies. Some of our polling units are in, water creeks, they are in very difficult terrains, difficult to reach, places that are difficult to reach. And you are, if you're an INEC and you're trying to deploy this thing and you're relying on, let's say, 2G GSM network or 3G GSM network, not everywhere in Nigeria has the 4G, right? Then you're bound to have these servers malfunction, and you're going to have issues with transmission of this result. So the idea of the BVAS is you have to be able to transmit it electronically. So what happens when the INEC officials are on site and they have these results? Everything is done manually, it's on paper, but they're trying to transmit it and there's no network, right? I think that's where the challenges will come in. So I believe what INEC ought to do to make this successful is to have the infrastructure laid down and available for people to be able to actually transmit these results, right? And you will feel that would be doable in today's world with smartphones and everything. But the key thing here is the network that is going to transmit it. And that's where I think we're having a lot of the issues. And so the moment the results cannot be transmitted from the polling units up to the server, then we have to go back. The fallback mode is going to be going back to the manual transmission, where they have to take all their result sheets and make their way to the local government or whatever collation center they are going to and present those results. I, for one, thought that like some months before the election, when the Minister of Information visited SpaceX's headquarters in the United States and got the Starlink broadband internet down to Nigeria, I, for one, thought that was being done in preparation for the elections. I think that could be a very useful technology, a very important way for us to be able to, bypass all of these issues we have with GSM networks, because we know that they are not too reliable. So regardless of where you are, whether you're in a creek or what have you, I thought that was going to be one of the use cases, and one of the reasons why the government actually went to get a Starlink broadband internet to Nigeria. You know, Nigeria actually happens to be the first country in Africa to have that service. I would think that INEC will be looking to use technologies such as those to make sure that, you know, we have flawless connections, regardless of how interior or how difficult that terrain is. And we can all together, you know, transmit all of these data to the BVAS servers. Now, someone could say, okay, that's going to cost a lot of money. But again, you look at the current expenditure that INEC is using on logistics, you know, somewhere on the order of 300, 400 billion naira. And you say, okay, this is almost $1 billion. Okay, what is that money being spent on? If you're going to get for the 170 something thousand polling units we have, if you're going to get a device that can actually do some form of interconnection, or at least have maybe some substations that are close by and that multiple polling locations can use, how much would that cost you? So I think this is something that INEC needs to think about in terms of the logistics and look at how they could improve the infrastructure that would give us the benefits of BVAS. So I think